Hey guys, it's been quite some time since we've done some long form gaming videos here. Of course, you can find my shorts in my main channel area, but today we're going to be doing the DMZ White Lotus, finishing off the Black Moss. I need to get 2 documents, and they just so happen to spawn in Rohan, and I had 2 previous games solo, but I didn't spawn anywhere near Rohan, so this particular time I got very lucky and was able to spawn right at Rohan. And I'm running with my RPK, which I've experimented with several different loadouts, even ones that were suggested by Who's Immortal. But I kind of just worked one out that I thought worked great for me, and I ran without a secondary so I could just kind of run fist or be a little bit faster. You can find the documents for the Black Moss in these little work sheds or office areas around Rohan along these edges here. And so I'm just going to check some of the bags, and you can find them. Typically, they're going to be on a shelf, or they're going to be laying on some sort of an item. As you'll see here in just a moment, here I'm just going to peek and check and see if there's any bots, maybe some players that spawned from that direction. If they're heading this way, I want to go ahead and just want to make sure that they weren't around, because of course I am running solo, very limited with my insured, running with one plate carrier, and I like to go through here and just check. Here we go, our first Black Moss, very nice. And as you can see, they're going to be on shelves. Typically, they're on a shelf. And I just grabbed some additional little electronic parts and grabbed the pistol out of this bag just to have a secondary just in case. And, of course, always nice to have armor. So I got very lucky on this one. The 2 previous other games, I did manage to get decent exfils. But in one of them, I was shot by a sniper that was camping the exfil, so that didn't turn out very well. But I wasn't near Rohan. I didn't really lose anything. It was really kind of a run, loot, and scoot, try to get some gear for this particular round right here. But unfortunately, since I had died, I didn't have any, so we're starting completely from scratch. No backpack, just the 1 plate carrier and my insured. Or I had the insured already in sight because I waited, for the time period to run out for the hour and a half. So I'm just going to check this corner here to make sure that there aren't any bots. And you guys will have to tell me, do you think the bot spawn or triggers are affected by how many players are with you, whether you're single player, playing with duos, or maybe even trios? I just would be curious to see if you guys notice any kind of a difference between being solo or playing with other players. So there's not a whole lot in this particular warehouse, but I did want to check it just to kind of see. Sometimes you never know what you're going to find, like a plate. And I thought that there was perhaps some lockers up here, but there weren't. But what there was up here on this particular shelf, I checked the first aid kit, was the other Black Lotus that I needed. So there you have it. So now you know where you can kind of locate it here around Rohan. Very few bots, very nice, and there wasn't any players. So at this point I decide, well, I'm going to go ahead and just exfil. So I want to see where the nearest one was. I'm not particularly enthusiastic about where this particular exfil is because it's up on that hill. And I took a quick little peek at that tower. And then I'm going to go in here and just kind of finish up some of my looting. And I got incredibly lucky going through here in this bag and found a PDW. Awesome. Completely loaded out PDW. Very nice with silencer. I don't know what all the particular attachments were, but it was awesome to get a 4-tag or 5-tag weapon. I don't think I've ever seen a 5-tag weapon in a duffel bag at Rohan. Seen 3, but never all 5, so it's pretty nice. So another little peek on that tower to see if anybody's up there. And as you saw there off to the right, there were some tracers, so I assume there were some players over there in that area, or having spawned in that area, because we pretty much just came into the game. You guys will have to let me know what you think about DMZ. Have you been enthusiastic about it? Do you think the bots have been kind of way cranked up? And of course, as I'm running through here, I don't encounter too many of the bots, but you guys will have to let me know what your experience has been like, either solo play, duos, or trios, and what your experience has been like, maybe what you'd like to see change or something different about the game. It has a pretty good flow to it. I'm a very big plunder player. You may have noticed as I was going through, kind of do all of my picking and looting very quickly because I do like the plunder style. But I'm also an H1Z1 Just Survive Battle Royale player. I used to be a big SOE guy, now Daybreak, and of course I covered H1Z1 here on the channel, so it was nice to kind of being back in kind of a battle royale mode. I did play Warzone, the original, and Plunder, as I just mentioned quite a bit. But I did miss H1Z1. My channel was kind of dedicated around H1Z1 and or SOE and or Daybreak games. That unfortunately they sunset H1Z1 as well as Landmark. And so I just decided I'm just going to run. I'm not going to spend any time trying to engage any of the bots. I'm going to keep running. I did have some plates. I do have the one plate carrier, so I felt okay. Still had some additional plates left over. And I was just going to go ahead and make it straight over here to the exfil. Typically, there's usually a few more bots in this particular area, but for some reason on this particular run, there wasn't very many. So I just figured I'd make a few little cash grabs here, head on up, and usually there's some bots kind of like around this area here to my right, and then of course here at the cave there might be some inside yet, and then I just get popped by one right there. So I figured I'm just going to keep running. I'm not going to sit there and engage any of the bots. And I'm right here at the exfil, so I felt pretty comfortable about it. And I figured, well, once I get around here, I know there wasn't anyone in the tower. I peeked it a couple times. Usually if somebody's up there, you're going to see a glint. Usually they're going to be looking, or you'll see some kind of movement of someone being up on the tower. Now, I did see that the weapon, someone had picked up the blueprint, and they were kind of around the area, kind of hovering around here. And so what I wanted to do is, again, I did another quick peek of the tower to make sure I didn't see a glint. Didn't see one. So what I was going to do is going to put my back to the rocks right here and just kind of hide in this little cranny right here and just keep everything in front of me. So now I know I had a few little bots behind me. Didn't see any players. No glint up in any of the buildings or up in the tower. So I feel pretty secure right here. I went ahead, dropped my load or dropped my ammo to get some additional smoke and or my thermite in case I needed it for something. And then I kind of notice a little bit off to my left here as I'm looking at my bag. I kind of see or as I look on the map, I see the guy with the case is getting relatively close to me. And so I'm kind of thinking, well, I'm going to go ahead and do my exfil. And then all of a sudden, here comes the bot, or heavy. I call them heavies because they're the ones with the, major armor. So I'll switch over to the RPK. Then I start making my dash, and I figure, well, I don't know how close this guy is or where they are or how many there are with the case. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw my smoke out. Of course, when you jump on the helicopter, it does go, directly to the 5-second countdown. And here comes the guy with the case. He came really close. And I figured, well, I'm just going to go throw out my thermites. And then I kind of figured he may have been by himself. Now, someone says something here. I don't know whether or not that was the guy with the case. But I say in proxy, hey, had I known you were near the area, or if I heard friendly, then I would have been more than happy to let you on the helicopter. But, of course, you can't ever take any chances because you never know what people are going to do. But I've had a lot of good games where I've encountered players and just said, hey, friendly, whether I'm solo or with other players. And it worked out quite nice. And as you can see there, we finished up the White Lotus Black Moss portion of the Tag 'em and Bag 'em. So I was pretty happy about all that. So you guys let me know what your thoughts are on DMZ. I'm considering making some more content surrounding DMZ and, of course, looking forward to Plunder. So appearing there on the screen, that would be the channel icon. You guys can click on to subscribe as well as notifications. And I will see you guys in the next video.